You're on live with Warren and Courtney Duthie from the Resolve Church. My business, I'm in a 100% commission business. So as you can imagine, without a steady paycheck, giving could be challenging. And that's definitely an area that I think God has provided through, and we've rolled with punches, but it's really cool to have been giving steadily and consistently that whole way, and seeing the church grow and mature, just like we're growing and maturing. We've given in the past and then overdrafted as a result of it, because there's a lag, and just I get it, it's hard sometimes to give, and
God's been faithful.
Yeah, he always has. And and when you think of when I remember that happened, I was I probably bought something stupid before, or wasn't being mindful, and that is a maturing process. And it's dude, it's that trusting him, being look, you're calling me to give 10%, and I'm gonna do that, even though it doesn't look like that's a good idea right now. Or I'm thinking of two scenarios. One scenario is if we have a big check and be well, 10% of that's a really big number, and that we've kind of been giving here, so let's just do, it's no, it's 10% of whatever comes in. There's these temptations, and then on the flip side, there's an order of things but we owe Uncle Sam 70 grand from taxes that I was irresponsible and didn't pay. So let's pay those off first, and then we'll get the church. No, we owe those taxes because I was an idiot and abdicating my role as just a citizen of the United States. We paid, but that's crazy. Is we tithed all the way, and God made that happen, and we were able to pay all that stuff back, and it was again, maturing through it all. There's I think it's a really practical way that God gets stuff done through us wounded healers. Someone's asking me hey, why haven't you guys bought a house yet? And I'm what kind of came up, it was well, because we tithe a lot. And I was kind of thinking, I'm man, we probably would have a house right now if we weren't tithing, but I'm totally fine with that. It dawned on me, it was well, dude, we'll get a house whenever we're supposed to get a house. And, we have a roof over our head now, and we like it, so it's, it's not, I don't think we're drunk on the idea of getting a house, but I was just kind of thinking yeah, we totally could have bought a place by now, but I'd way rather send that money here than in some, I don't know, house that I probably would get bored of after a year anyway. Anyway, that's tangent, but kind of a funny idea that we thought of the other day.
And we take a lot from the church, so of course we would want to give. We come on Sundays, we've, taken meals from people when we have babies, we've taken childcare from people who are willing. It would seem so silly for us to just take and not want to give and to watch it grow. As it's grown, our faith has grown, our community has grown, and we want that. We want it to keep growing so we can continue with our faith growing and our community growing and meeting new people and reaching out to other people and seeing, new people come to Jesus. We both basically came to Jesus in this church. That's amazing. Of course, we want to see other people do that too. So, and we know that takes money, It doesn't happen for free.
In San Diego especially, it ain't cheap here. And so, yeah. It's crazy. I think back about that time with Steve Ashline, this guy I work with, always hating on Jesus, and guy got cancer in his kidney and had a radical nephrectomy, which is an emergency kidney removal, and the cancer might have gone up this renal tube or whatever, and if it did, it was going to go to his heart and he was going to be dead. And he was coming to church with us through this whole process, and Dwayne's going through systematically through Matthew, and when he comes in is right before Jesus goes to the cross. And I remember that dude Steve getting baptized that day, and I was just astonished at, here's this 50-year-old heart that's been so hard and cold, it just boom, soft as putty. And to see that happen in Marina Boulevard, this tiny ghetto little building, it's Jesus, he doesn't need our money. He's gonna make it happen, and his glory, he's gonna get his glory. But just to be a part of that was so awesome. And the fact that like the water in the tub didn't spill over and electrocute everyone on stage is also a miracle. And now I think we've been able to manage some of those risks because of money that's been given. So there, put a little pretty bow on it.